I'm going to share with you my most favorite Christmas story ever. It's just a little silly story, and it does have a sitcom that comes on TV sometimes. So if you see it over Christmas, I hope that you will think of me and how it's my favorite story as you enjoy that. So this is How Murray Saved Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and at the North Pole, Santa was rockin' and ready to go. His seatbelt was buckled, his deer were fed, and 5 billion toys were stuffed into his sled. There were dolls that said mama and dolls that said goo, dolls that made music and dolls that made poo. There were dolls that grew tall at the push of a button, and a doll, best of all, that didn't do nothing. He revved up his reindeer about to take off when all of a sudden he heard a small cough. Santa, can I have your attention? It was Edison Elf with his latest invention. Now Edison thought of himself as a tinkerer, but as a tinkerer, he was sort of a stinkerer. My Jack-in-the-Boxer belongs on your list. It's the Jack-in-the-Box with a fabulous twist. So Santa Claus tried it, and oh, what a trick! A boxing glove popped out and knocked out Saint Nick. He wobbled, he bobbled, his face turned bright red. A lump like a sugar plum rose from his head. Santa! Cried Eddie, but Santa said, "Glibble, I'm perfectly shenibble," and then he started to dribble. Ed dressed him in jammies and put him to bed, and he worried just who would bring presents instead. Then a card fluttered down out of Santa's right mitten, and on it in gold round letters was written, "For special delivery, call Murray Kleiner, owner of Murray K's Holiday Diner." Now Santa and all of the holiday bunch would come into Murray's for breakfast or lunch. You might see George Washington eating and drinking on President's Day with Abraham Lincoln. Cupid loved bagels. The groundhog, the chili. The Thanksgiving turkey would stuff himself silly. And how, you might wonder, did Santa get so fat? Just thank Murray's chocolate chip cheesecake for that. But lunchtime was past. It was late Christmas Eve. Murray had closed and was about to leave when Ed parked the sleigh and hollered to Murray, "I need a delivery and I'm in a big hurry." Murray said, "I can make you whatever you wish, a nice piece of fish or a spinach knish. But who are you, Shorty, and where is St. Nick?" Edison sobbed, "I made Santa Claus sick, and now I need you to deliver some toys to 200 countries to good girls and boys. Just put on this red suit and get in the sleigh." "What are you, cuckoo?" Murray cried. "No way. Give me one reason to schlep through the snow, giving billions of presents to kids I don't know. Will anyone pay me? Will anyone tip? What if I slip and fracture my hip? Look out the window. It's cold and it's shivery. Why in the world would I make this delivery?" "Because it's Christmas," cried Ed. Christmas, you know, is that one special season when people do good things without a good reason. The grouchiest of men will wear musical ties and buy Christmas presents for folks they despise. The cheapest of cheapskates will spend all of his money, and people make fruitcakes from concrete and honey. Christmas works magic, and Edison knew it. "You're not playing fair," Murray grumped, "but I'll do it." Murray put on the suit. The belly was baggy, the shoulders were saggy, and the bottom was draggy. "I'm fat," Murray said, "but it seems Santa's fatter. The caboose is quite loose, but I guess it won't matter." They hopped in the sleigh, which sped off like a comet, causing Murray to holler, "Slow down or I'll vomit. I've got just one rule, but Shorty, it's basic. If you go too fast, I'm bound to get sleigh sick." They made their first stop, Eddie fearing the worst. Murray fell down the chimney and landed tush first. He didn't come back till 2:15 when Eddie cried, "Murray, what happened to you?" Murray shrugged. "By the fireplace, kids hung up socks, so I loaded up the socks with bagels and lox." They went to the next house. It didn't go better. Murray got bit by a big Irish setter. He stepped on a turtle at house number 3. And at house number 4, he knocked over the tree. "I'm old and I'm cold, and this suit doesn't fit. If the next stop goes badly," said Murray, "I quit." The poor elf couldn't blame him. Poor Eddie had tried. Poor Murray had tried. "You're going to do great," little Edison lied. Murray jumped down the chimney and landed so hard the thud knocked the snow off the trees in the yard. He got to his feet with an oof and a oi, and he found himself facing a 6-year-old boy. The boy exclaimed, "Santa!" and Murray cried, "Where?" "Oh, right, you mean me. Yes, I'm Santa, I swear." "Get a load of this laugh." "Ho, ho, ho," Murray chuckled. But just as he chuckled, his pants came unbuckled. And his pants, which were loose, went straight past his knees. Murray Kleiner was written on his silk BVDs. The boy looked perplexed, so he said, "Please explain why you and your underpants have different names." Betrayed by his boxers, let down by his pants, Murray knew a good story would be his best chance. So he said, "Murray Kleiner's a famous designer. Calvin Klein may be fine, but Kleiner is finer." "Are you sure you're Santa? You don't have a beard. Your suit is all baggy, and you smell kind of weird." "I shaved off the beard, Mrs. Claus said it tickles, and I went on a diet, club soda and pickles. That should explain why I'm beardless and bellyless. The pickles would also account for my smelliness." So there, I've explained it. I've made everything clear, and then the boy asked him to name his reindeer. Murray hemmed and he hawed. He did not know this stuff. So he huffed and he puffed and he proceeded to bluff. "There's Dumbo and Jumbo and Mason and Dixon, Cosmo and Kramer and Richard M. Nixon." Murray looked at him hopefully. "How'd I do?" "You're a fake," cried the boy. "I guess Santa is too." Murray cried, "There's a Santa, and I got the proof." They went out on the lawn and looked up at the roof. "That's Santa's sleigh sitting there in the snow. There's the toys and the reindeer whose names I don't know. Oh, Santa is real, kid. It's wrestling that's fake." And that's when the boy knew he'd made a mistake. This wasn't just some smelly guy in a suit, but a honest-to-goodness St. Nick substitute. And when the boy smiled, Murray felt a strange tingle. He knew for one night that he could be Kris Kringle. "Ho, ho, ho," Murray laughed as he patted his head, and he fixed him a lean pastrami sandwich with coleslaw and a triple thick chocolate milkshake, and he sent him to bed. Then Edison asked if he still felt like quitting. "Quitting?" cried Murray. "You've got to be kidding. Enough of that talk. We've got toys to deliver. We can't sit around like 2 lumps of chopped liver. From Nome down to Rome, from almost to Atlanta, they handed out presents more quickly than Santa." "You did a great job," Edison said, and he smiled. "Tonight you brought presents to every good child." "Let's not stop," Murray said. "We have the time. We have the toys. Why can't we bring them to bad girls and boys? So a kid might be lazy. He might be a slob. He drives his folks crazy. That's sort of his job." Ed heard what he said and he couldn't resist. They brought toys to the naughty, a very long list. A toboggan for Ogden, who played sick from school and drove his dad's Pontiac into the pool. For Brooke, a good book, since she broke the TV, VCR, PC, and every CD. And a jet plane for Dwayne, a mischievous fellow who filled the girls' toilets with blueberry jello. Murray brought presents to all the not-so-good kids, the rude and the crude and the misunderstood kids. And people said Christmas was never so pleasant as the year when the whole world got a present. Murray said, "Well, there's nothing for us in this sack." So he gave Ed a hug, and Ed gave him one back. "You know you're a nice guy," said Edison Elf. "Thanks," Murray said. "You're not bad yourself. On lipstick, on dipstick, on Pixie and Trixie, on Crimson and Norton and Alex and Trixie." And Murray said as they rode out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. I love you all. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.